all go down to the county fair today. Remember when you were a kid and you went to the county fair and you had corn on the cob and all the guys were barking and they show you all these things, the Vegematic and all that stuff? I haven't been to one of those places in years. The Paola County Fair is 50 years old this year. And get down there and have maybe some pig meat and some corn on the cob and cotton candy and all that and ride on the Ferris wheel. And yes, sir, folks, step right up here and see a horse that is smaller than a dog. And you will see Jojo the dog-faced boy. He don't walk, he don't talk, he crawls on his belly. Yes, folks, this is what you've been looking all over the grounds for. This is the Girly Show. Remember that? You remember the Girly Show? Lydia the tattooed lady? Remember that? We have an open hour here, and good to talk to you. 5767781 is our number, and let's get Jay in here now. Jay, you're on KCMO. Good morning.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Say, I can't quite go along with all this saying about what a great and nice guy Pendergast is. Weren't these people here in the 30s?
I don't know. Were you here?
Yes. Don't you remember 4 people were murdered at a polling booth down there?
Hell, I don't know. I wasn't here.
By his thugs?
I don't know.
Oh, the guy was a crook and murderer. Of course he could be nice. He was buying votes. He always bought votes.
How old were you in the 30s?
I was 15 and 19.
Okay, so you knew what was going on.
Yeah, and my dad, well, boy, what the things that they did to the company he worked for, they put sugar in gas tanks, slashed his
Is that right? Yeah, but how about all these good stories you hear about him?
Well, of course, the guy, he had to do some good.
Well, how about all the buildings he built, the great old buildings that are still around?
Yeah, well, thank goodness he wasn't in the lumber business. We have a wooden city hall that's 26 stories tall. You know, the guy wasn't stupid, but the guy was not all, he was a boss.
Well, you had to be here and live through it to really know the story.
And it was scary at times. My dad was down there in one of the polling places, and they roughed him up. They didn't hurt him. They didn't need to because they figured he wasn't the type of guy that had to have the full treatment to get the message. You know?
Yeah.
And you talked to over Tom Leathers. Tom Leathers is a good one on Pendergast.
Well, he likes him.
Yeah.
And Tom wasn't around in those days.
Yes, he was.
No, Tom isn't that old.
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Hell, Tom and I were in school together.
When Pendergast died?
Oh, I don't know when he died, but they indicted him, I think, in 42, 3, and then...
He died in jail?
No, I think he got out, but he was, wasn't long for this world.
Yeah.
But sure, the guy, he did a lot of things for a lot of people, but he also did a lot of other things to a lot of other people.
Yeah. Did you ever go over to his horse track?
I was there once, and Mike, is the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life.
What happened?
My family, my mother and father, and some guests, and the first race, I said, I'm betting on number 7. Here's $2. I said, oh, no. You don't want to bet the win. Bet the show. No, he's going to win. By God, the horse came in and he won. I paid about $24 for 2. And I was, ever since then, I've been going downhill.
Where is that, anyway?
Well, it was over in Riverside.
Yeah, they say the starting bell is still around over there.
I don't know.
They used to start them with a bell.
Yeah. I'll tell you an interesting story about Pendergast and Harry Truman, if you...
Sure.
A second.
Yeah.
Well, the business my dad was with, they doubled the real estate tax on them in 1 year. And it was a pretty good business. And, boy, you were talking about money.
Yeah.
And so his job was to go down with the lawyer to the county court and appeal that,
Mm-hmm.
So, the lawyer said, well, I don't know how much good we'll do, but we can try. So they got down there, and the 3 county judges are there, and they just happened to get Harry Truman. And so Harry took a look at it, and they presented this case, and Harry said, well, this is double in 1 year. And they said, that's right. He said, this is ridiculous. This isn't fair. And crossed it out, back to the old rate.
Is that right?
Yeah. And my dad said, boy, ever since then, He's a big Harry Truman fan. He said he might be Pendergast's boy, but he isn't Pendergast's man.
Well,
something like that.
Yeah, he came back to his funeral, remember?
Yeah.
And they said, you shouldn't do that. And he said, hey, hell with you. He was my friend.
Yeah, he was a friend, but Harry was his own man, and what was fair was fair.
That's right. Thanks for your call,
Okay.
Jay.
Bye.
Good man. For a long time, I've been telling you about Martin's family and how great they are in this car business. Their family of car dealerships. We can't believe this. Nobody does, but it's the truth. Henry Martin's has done it again and opened his 5th store that he is running himself. In fact, he called in here yesterday. Always nice to talk to Henry. Henry is not ever naked in the store. He was saying something about being naked somewhere. No, you won't find that. Henry will not. He won't do that. His own hometown is Lansing. Did you know that? And you folks that have lived in Leavenworth for a while remember Henry's first dealership that he started at 4th and Cherokee long time ago, back when he was known as Big Henry. And he's got Chevrolets and Geos. He's got everything. Hard to find Chevy Tahoes. He's got those. Tremendous selection of S10 Blazers, Suburbans, pickups. He has great-looking Chevy club cabs, 4x4s. And Big old Henry is thrilled to be back in Lansing. So why don't you stop in and say hello? His son Jeff is down there, and his new manager Randy Hill's a Leavenworth native. And if you're in Kansas City, call him at 432-552. Their local number is 727-2100. Or stop by 555 North Main in Lansing. Henry, you're going to love Henry. If you've never met him, just great. Henry Martin, Chevy Geo, Lansing. Now you have a new friend in the car business there. Be sure and tell him that Murphy sent you.
76 degrees at 11:30. I'm Richard Mock, KCMO News Center. Gulf Coast states are on alert for Tropical Storm Erin. Storm warnings have been extended to Pensacola, Florida, and the watch runs west of the Pearl River in Mississippi. Erin has now entered the Gulf northwest of Tampa with top sustained winds of 60 miles an hour. Japan and the U.S. have done some major buying of dollars on the open market today, spurring a rise in the greenback's value and reining in the yen. Meanwhile, Washington says new home sales shot up in June. The good news has sent stock prices up. A former deputy attorney general says he knew the White House handling of Vincent Foster's suicide would come up before Congress. Philip Heyman telling senators today that he was angry that presidential aides stalled police trying to investigate Foster's suicide. O.J. Simpson's lawyers hope to show today that the Los Angeles Police DNA lab is a mess. The judge has given them permission to delve into the issue and how it might relate to contamination of evidence. Food labeling still isn't what it should be. That complaint comes today from the Center for Science and the Public Interest. It's complaining to regulators about supposed fruit products with no real fruit and so-called lightly sweetened cereals that are loaded with sugar. A lesson in real life is over for 6 children. They were among 80 passengers stranded in Kansas City last night when the FAA grounded a Mark Air flight bound for Denver. The FAA said Mark Air had not met maintenance requirements. Most passengers got rooms in nearby hotels, but the children, ages 7 to 11, were sent to a foster home where they could be supervised for the night. The children were among 35 stranded passengers who boarded an America West flight this morning for Denver. The biggest online system will try to woo computer neophytes with a less expensive and more user-friendly online service. The new price structure and access software will become available in September on CompuServe, a subsidiary of H&R Block of Kansas City. CompuServe has 3.2 million subscribers worldwide, but a chief rival, Prodigy's services company, is also unveiling improvements, and 2 major new online services are poised to enter the market. CompuServe will invest $70 million for its improvements. The skies of eastern Kansas will be humming tomorrow when 150 warplanes from WW2 arrive at Olathe Airport for Freedom Flight America. The Free Public Show is part of a 9-city tour commemorating the war. A coordinator for the display called the show a once-in-a-lifetime event. The planes begin arriving at noon at the New Century Air Center tomorrow. An entire fleet will be on hand on the ground by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, inbound from Dallas-Fort Worth. Visitors can talk with the pilots and get a close-up look at the planes. Some of those planes on display include a B-25 Mitchell bomber and a Fairchild PT-19. KCMO Kansas City weather this afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms, high near 80. Tonight, cloudy, 40% chance of showers, low 68. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 30% chance of showers, temperature peak 85. From the News 5 Neighborhood Weather Network, light rain, 75 in Olathe, sprinkles and 76 degrees at KCMO, Kansas City.
Does your old truck have you singing the blues? Well, this summer, get it in gear with a new GMC Sonoma Compact or Sierra full-size 5-speed pickup. First, get to your nearest GMC truck dealer and choose the truck that's right for you. Second, test drive that new truck like you've never done before. All right. Third, now here's the important part. Save up to $1,248 on Sonoma 5-speed or save up to $2,200 on Sierra 5-speed with cashback and option package savings. Fourth, smile, because you just got one great deal. And now your friends will be telling you how incredibly smart you are. And finally, put it in overdrive and head off into the sunset, never having to sing the blues again. But of course, you can still listen to them in your new GMC truck. Savings based on MSRP of value packages versus options purchased separately. You must take retail delivery out of dealer stock by October 4th, 1995. Get it in gear. See your GMC Truck Pros for details.
Recently, there's been groundbreaking advances in weight loss. 6 of the most striking developments are diet systems that have been proven through clinical research. But no single diet capsule has ever combined all 6 of these effective ingredients into one super formula. System 6 is an advanced weight loss formula combining chromium picolinate to reduce appetite and sugar cravings, Citramax to prevent fat storage, L-carnitine, a proven fat burner, lipotropics to break down solid fat deposits, thermogenic herbs for energy to burn calories faster, plus a complete nutritional enhancement formula with 85 vitamins, minerals, and green superfoods to help you feel and look your best. System 6 is available at Supernatural Health Food Center, where quality and great prices are a priority. To order, call 765-1135, and for out of town, call 1-800-POWER-21. Call and ask how you can receive a free bottle of System 6, the exciting new diet system. Remember, prevention is the key to good health.
Surviving in nature requires constant use of the senses, each one designed to detect predators instantly, allowing enough time to escape, to survive. But there is one predator that moves so silently, so swiftly, not even nature's most highly developed warning systems can sense its approach. It's cancer. And even though there's no way to tell when cancer will strike, it's important to know just where to turn if it does. The oncology department at North Kansas City Hospital has some of the most advanced medical screenings and treatments available, like the mammo test, a non-invasive procedure to detect breast cancer, and radioactive seed implanting to treat prostate cancer. And because overcoming this predator requires the strength and will of everyone involved, we make a special effort to provide support and counseling for our patients and their families. The Oncology Department at North Kansas City Hospital. We give you our best when you need us the most.
I'm Nancy Saper. Join me every Saturday from 10 till noon as Saper Saturday keeps you up to date on the latest entertainment happenings in Hollywood, New York, and the great Midwest. Plus, we'll talk about current local and national issues. The best part, there is no ugly cable bills, reruns on Saper Saturday, and no unsightly satellite dishes. Just turn me on every Saturday on Saper Saturday from 10 till noon on Talk Radio 810 KCMO.
Thank you, sweetheart.
He wished upon a city and became a star. Talk Radio 810, KCMO, Kansas City, presents Mike Murphy.
Here's a little something I wouldn't mind doing as we come back here with open phones, digging up the dead. And what do you think of that? And we're digging all these bodies, and I was out of town when they got into Jesse James' tomb, coffin, crypt, whatever it was, and I didn't hear what happened, whether they found old Jesse or not. Digging up the dead, exploring the mystery of Egypt's greatest tomb. The air was dead. It was hot. I just wandered through the tomb on all fours with my jaws open, saying, I don't believe it, I don't believe it. But what he found in February may just be the beginning. He discovered the tomb of the sons of Ramses II in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. What's below the tomb might help uncover many mysteries of the Old Testament, including the story of Moses, holy Moses, and whether that was true, and the flight of the Israelites from Egypt. What else were they trying to do? John Wilkes Booth. They've been trying to find him or dig him up, too. 5767781 is our number here. Let's go to Paul. Paul, you're on KCMO.
Murphy?
Yes?
How you doing?
Good.
I'm a first-time caller, so...
How you doing there, Paulie Wally?
Look, I've got these photos coming in the mail today.
What photos?
The alien autopsy photos.
You do?
It took me about 2 to 3 weeks to get access to them from a friend out in California. And this guy in California is a hardcore skeptic. And when he saw them, he just about lost it.
What did he say?
Well, he said it was the most unnerving thing he ever seen in his life, for one. And he said the odd thing about it is they don't look like what you expect them to. They don't look like the typical grays.
What do they look like?
Well, they look human except for the heads and the hands. And he said in a couple of one photo in particular, you could see where there's obvious predator activity that went on.
Yeah.
Some of the things that...
That's it, because they didn't find him for 5 or 6 days.
Yeah. And the other odd thing is this, from what I'm told, this footage, the original owner of it claims that it was filmed in June of 47, not July of 47. So that kind of adds a whole new twist on it.
Well, the crash was in July, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to say, but main reason I called you, if you'd like, as soon as I get these, I can bring some down to you.
Oh, would you? Just any time, no matter what I'm in, just say you're here with them, and
sure.
I'll stop whatever I'm doing.
That's great. I tell you, man, I've been listening to you for a long time, and this is a real thrill for me to call you.
Well, it's great to have you on here. Listen, who took these?
Well, that's the story I got. The guy that filmed it was has been a lifelong cinematographer or whatever, and he worked for the military back then. This guy's supposedly 78 years old now.
Yeah.
And the Santilli came looking for footage for this Elvis documentary and purchased it, and this guy said, hey, would you be interested in this footage, and pulled out 15 minutes worth of footage of the Roswell autopsy. And
did you hear the story I read in the newspaper about all the records of that have been destroyed?
Yeah, if that's not contradictory to what they had released a while back, I don't know what is.
What in the world are we going to do? If they come out and they say, okay, this is what happened, there are these creatures, this is not nonsense, they're here, they've been here for years. What are we going to do? What is it going to do? That's going to blow a lot of people's minds.
Well, there seems to be a little bit of desensitizing going on with that in the media. And I think the few people that believe it have believed it for a long time, and I don't think it's going to shock them too bad.
I know, but what is this going to do? I mean, what does this make us? What are we?
I'm afraid to think.
I think maybe we're an experiment.
Well, the Sitchin, Zachariah Sitchin story goes, we were genetically altered to serve them.
I know it.
So,
maybe they're just waiting until there's enough of us that they can come down and eat us.
I prefer not to think that.
Oh, boy.
But, I tell you what, as soon as I get these photos, I will come down with them.
Okay, listen, what if one of them comes to you, and you're on your backyard, and they say, okay, you can go with us to where we come from?
I wouldn't go.
Wouldn't you?
No, as much as I would probably like to. I have a family and a life here, and I could never give that up.
And you wouldn't do it?
No. And the crazy thing is I dwell on this UFO stuff day and night. I mean, I read every book possible, I listen to every program possible, and I say to myself, would I walk into the lion's den? And I say no.
Okay. Whitley Strieber's got a good new book out.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, it's good.
He's going to be on your show coming up then, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to get him booked now.
Good.
So I don't know when it's going to be, but it'll be soon.
That's a strange case there, too, I firmly believe he was an abductee, but I'm not sure how he feels about it.
Well, what happened to him was the publishers refused to do any more of his work because they thought he was cuckoo.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get another book published.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And I don't know why, because Communion was such a huge book.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's pretty strange.
Well, thanks for your call here.
All right, Mike.
And now you let me know, and I got to see it. You haven't seen these at all, have you?
No, well, it took me a long time. I tell you what, they came up on the internet about probably 30 days ago, and since then I've had people from here to California trying to get on, and one guy got on, downloaded the photos off of the internet, and nobody has since been able to get in there.
Huh.
So, I mean, if anything, it was a miracle that we got them that way.
Boy.
So he called me this morning and said, check my mail today at noon. They should be there.
Okay, tell me just a little bit more about this. What do they cover? What these are autopsies? It shows their whole body or what?
Yeah, there's one front like laying on the back shot.
Oh boy.
There's a side shot where they're doing something on its side. A head shot, a foot shot, and a hand shot, I believe. Obviously, the hands and the feet have 6 fingers and 6 toes with extremely long fingers. They have the typical oval-shaped eyes.
Like E.T. had. Remember E.T.?
Yeah.
You know that Spielberg had a lot of information, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That's I kind of wonder about that man sometimes.
I do too.
He's had an unusual insight to all this stuff.
I know it.
Many years.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.